Hello, my name's SAP Alien and welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm going to start things off quickly with a saying. Offense wins games, defense wins championships. And while goal scoring is the most fun part about hockey, the saying is true. Defense does win championships. Doesn't matter how many goals you can score if you can't keep the pucks out of your own net. Now, I'm going to show some clips going through certain defensive plays of mine in a bunch of situations, while explaining my thought processes when I go through them. The reason why this video will not be a this strat works against everyone is because there is no one-size-fits-all defense. You have to be able to adapt to your opponent. He has the puck, he makes the moves, and you have to react appropriately to each one. These plays will hopefully show you how I think about defense, and hopefully you can recognize what tendencies are needed to play elite level defense. I hope you enjoy, and let's get into this video. First, let's talk about the forecheck. Before I play this video, I want everyone to know that forechecking is a matter of defensive instincts. A formation isn't going to help you if you do not have the eye to catch what your opponent's tendencies are. For example, does your opponent like short passes up the boards? Try a 1-2-2 aggressive where you're constantly on your opponent. Does your opponent like to send 40-foot saucer stretch passes? We'll try a 1-2-2 passive and attack the forwards who are standing still waiting to receive the pass. You have to be adaptable. This clip will show what I mean. First of all, it is not a static forecheck. As you see here, we lose the puck, and right off the bat you'll notice that all three of my forwards are behind the puck. Now, this is an easy 2-on-2 situation, and when I play this video, you'll see that I immediately go forechecking with my defenseman to Austin Matthews. He makes an errant pass, and it results in a loose puck to the boards. You might be asking yourself, why are you taking such an aggressive stance on this forecheck? Well, first, I recognize that there's only two forwards and I have two defensemen, so even if I take Byram and I shoot him up to Matthews, unless Matthews is able to get around me with the puck, and I'm able to take him out, it will still only be a 1v1 situation. If he gets around me and I miss that, that's my bad and it'll be a 2-on-1, but even then, my forward should be able to regain ground and skate back. If the forward makes a pass, it's still going to be a 1v1 situation between this forward and Makar. And as you see here, he passes it to the boards. I'm immediately applying pressure once again with Nolan. And then I immediately apply pressure to Barzal here. By the time Barzal makes this pass, the forwards have already come back. And they're able to catch that saucer pass. Byram's able to come back and make a play, but the forwards were also there. It's a very smart idea to apply pressure and trying to force your opponent to make the perfect play. In this situation, I was able to forecheck aggressively, effectively, and get the puck back, and were able to start a rush up the ice. So earlier I was talking about the forecheck and how an aggressive forecheck can lead to success. Well, here is a kind of forecheck / neutral zone defense play. So here, my opponent grabs the puck and he wants to do a line change, and you'll see this. You'll see a lot of players resetting the puck, holding the puck on the defensive end in order to facilitate a line change. Well, I'm not going to offer any space because I noticed that all three forwards are changing, and his defenseman is up high in the zone and going for a change too. So there's no support. If he rims the puck around the boards, one of my players will get it if he loses the puck in any way. So he's skating around. I'm forechecking hard. I'm trying my best to get this puck away. He's able to slip off, and he makes a pass. Now his players are coming off the bench. They have no speed whatsoever. So it does not matter exactly how my defense is situated. His players are grabbing the puck with no speed, no momentum, no formation. So unless he makes a quick pass to someone who's not necessarily in their position and not in a situation where they can gain full speed through the neutral zone and get into my zone, I can just attack quick with the stick. The puck goes the other way. Sarah Fillier has it. He's able to pass to Mantha, and we facilitate another rush here. First, let's start with talking about the most simple way to play defense, angling off with your gap control. Here I make a bad pass, and my opponent is able to successfully move the puck from his left all the way to his right with one sharp pass. After he retrieves the puck here, Yossi will take it and he'll pass to Howie Morenz. Now, my job is to immediately attack with Cale Makar. I have to establish my gap. So I catch up, I make sure he's not able to get to the net before me by skating back and towards him so we can meet at the blue line, hopefully. So we meet at the blue line, and then I immediately, instead of forcing him, to one side or attacking with my stick, I just maintain my gap, and my gap is basically one stick length. If I make a poke from here with proper body positioning, I should be able to reach it. So I try and maintain that, try and feint that I'm going to cut in, so he cuts to his right, and then I follow him there. Again, I'm maintaining that gap, making sure that if he tries to accelerate around, I can cut down. If he tries to cut back around me, I can cut back and poke. And then when he's in a position where I feel like he can't cut and make a dangerous move, because he's holding on his right stick, he's holding on his backhand, so he can't accelerate around me anymore, all he can do is glide. Then I attack with the stick, and I let him take the outside. It's very simple, just let him have the outside, and he works it. He gets a shot off the post here with Carlson, but it's a low percentage shot. It's a wrist shot from the point with a minimal screen. Once again, I'm able to hold him to the outside, maintain that gap with Makar, keep that stick, work the middle. Again, he gets a weak outside chance, poke it off, another shot, bounces. He didn't get one quality shooting opportunity. His best chance was a wrist shot from the point. Just maintain your gap control, keep a stick's length between your player and the puck, do not overcommit, force him to make the first move, and then attack when he slows down to a spot where he can't accelerate around you. Either attack with a hit or attack with a well-timed poke check. Next up, I want to show some textbook rush defense. On this play, I make an ill-advised pass with John Klingberg, and I immediately go to forecheck the loose puck with Brent Burns. Now, it might seem dumb to attack and forecheck with your defenseman, but it's not the worst idea in the world if you think, one, you can get the puck in the first place, and two, if there's a backup plan that if you miss it, there's men back to cover that defenseman. So in this play, Burns misses the poke check, the pass gets sent, and I immediately have 3 players to cover a 3-on-3, potentially a 4-on-3 if this defenseman up high jumps in, but I also have my players back here to come back in case of that. And I recognize that there's 3 players, so there could be a plethora of plays. There could be a drop pass, there could be a shot on goal looking for a rebound, there could be him cutting across the slot looking for this guy to come back behind him. Don't be too afraid, don't feel like you have to back skate here. Instead, I don't LT skate backwards, I just follow the forward back and forth while skating, and when I'm able to put him into a choke point, I attack with the stick. So once again, I recognize that Gaudreau is a shifty skater, there's a lot of teammates he can pass to. I don't LT skate, I just face the boards, skate with him left and right, and when he slows himself down with the skill stick or maybe even makes a deke, then I attack with the stick and I'm able to knock the puck loose. Here's another play to explain why I stick with a defenseman, I don't LT spin, I don't often player switch on rush defense. So here I lose the puck and it becomes a 2-on-2/2-on-3 situation, and I switch to Byram and I follow his Brent Burns with the puck. Now if I player switch here, it's going to take a second for the game to recognize the switch, and I'm going to be pushing off in the opposite direction. As you see here, Makar is actually striding to the left. It's going to take me a second to be able to turn my body and get out of LT spinning with Makar and attack Burns, and I might even run into Byram, who's going to stick with Burns in the process. So instead, I stick with Byram, and I go after. He decides to go around one of my players and one of his players, but I stick with Byram. I let my center, who's in front of Byram, and Makar continue the backup to take any pass or anything in the slot. I follow with Byram, and the moment he tries to make a pass or a decision, I'm right on his player with the stick, able to poke it by, and then I make another poke to get it away from the loose puck away from the player, and I'm able to poke it out of the zone and chase onto it with Owen Nolan. Let's watch this cut defensive play. So here we see my opponent's able to take the puck into offensive zone, and I immediately recognize that he has 3 forwards up, one with the puck. Now, a good play that players will attempt to try off the rush is a play where they'll take a forward on the outside, send a pass to the middle up high, and they'll cut back the other way as the goalie's sliding to, in this instance, Bishop would be sliding to his left. They'll catch and they'll shoot it short side back the other way where the goalie's sliding. I immediately recognize that, and I give up the boards. I could try and feint and try and pick off that pass to the defenseman, but I decide instead to take the more dangerous man in the middle. He sends it back to the point, and now here's a simple trick that you can do. You can take the guy up high who's between the two defensemen, feint as if you are going to attack with your body with a body check. When you're halfway, you stop, you LT, you back up, you intercept the puck, and there you're off to the races. So once again, I recognize the man in the middle, the cut player. I take him away with my body. Even if he gets the puck here, I'll still be in a position to extend my stick or bump with the body. There's players in the lane, so he can't hit the guy up high, and even if he does send a sauce and he's able to lead him onto it, my defenseman's right here to poke. He goes back up to the defenseman. CPU's already doing the work already. I extend it. I pretend I'm going to attack with my body. As soon as I recognize that he's going to try and go D to D, which is something that a lot of players will do, I start back skating, extend myself, reach out, intercept the puck, and escape the defensive zone with it. So that's an easy way you can defend a cut or any D to D opportunity. Next, let's talk about defending against the quick breakout. Here, he makes a fantastic play with Pietrangelo to block a cross-crease pass, and he's going to immediately look to try and find someone who can receive a breakout pass in order to get the puck up the ice instead of dumping it. Now, I decide right off the bat that the only threat here is if this player is able to receive the puck in an open area with space and potentially gain speed. This guy is not a threat to attack. The guy in the middle is, but there's two men defending. I believe that's Bergeron and this is McDavid. So I cut off here because I recognize that if this pass cannot be completed, he's going to have to maintain the puck, or if he goes for that anyway, he's going to have to just dump the puck down and I'll receive it and get the puck back. So he tries to go for a spin here. I've already cut off all the players. He goes for a spin, loses the puck on Matthews. Matthews takes it back. Nice little saucer pass to Patrice Bergeron. It's in the back of the net. So once again, I cut off his player right here. He's trying to break this puck out. So he's looking for this guy only, or he's going to dump it. But in 1v1 gameplay, a lot of players don't like dumping it on the penalty kill. So I immediately go in beeline, choke him off. He goes for the spin. I get the puck back. It's a rush chance. It's in the back of the net. Defense to offense real quick. So let's talk about defending the cycle. A lot of players like using the boards when cycling in the offensive zone. Now here, I make a stupid pass with my goaltender, and my opponent is able to intercept it. Now, I immediately go back into, okay, I gotta defend mode. And my goal here is just to allow no shots from the home plate area. The home plate area is top of the circles, down to the dots, to the post. Looks like a home plate in baseball. So I'm just trying to keep him to the outside, and I recognize that he's along the boards. And this is a skill that not a lot of people use. The board play, holding Y or triangle. I push the forward off with Hedman, and I get him to the boards, and I immediately just start holding. He can't move. All he can do is kick it along the boards or out to the middle with very weak power. So I'm just following, trying to get the puck with my stick in his legs or trying to cut off a passing lane. He's going to kick it, and I'm going to start holding Jokinen. He's going to kick it back to the guy down low. I'm going to hold him. I'm trying to prevent any free-flowing offense. I'm trying to slow it down as much as I can so that my players can come back, get into position, cover, and receive this puck. Now, I lose the puck down low, but I'm still holding him to the outside, preventing anything in the slot. I take an ill-advised holding penalty here. I thought he had the puck, which shows that, even if you play great defense, it does not matter. You will sometimes give up a goal or even have to take a penalty. I block off this passing lane. His Jokinen's holding out for a cross crease. I block it off. He starts back skating. Again, I'm trying to prevent any shots from the home plate area. I back off. He's still not able to get an effective shot off. And yes, did I get a penalty? I did, but I prevented any A+ scoring chances just by using an underutilized skill, which is the board play, keeping him to the outside, maintaining my gaps in the slot, and forcing him to just take a weak gimme shot which is easily picked up by Hedman. That is textbook cycle defense minus the penalty. And that's all the clips that I have. Now before I go, I wanted to talk about my own personal strategies before anyone asks, oh Edward, what are your strategies? Or SAP, what are your strategies? I run a 2-3-4 check and a 1-3-1 neutral zone. The reason being for the 2-3-4 check is I like having just quick, fast-paced hockey. Get on to the attacker, get onto the defenseman, create a turnover, and create a nice chance off of the turnover, whether it be by a hit or by a poke check. And the 1-3-1 neutral zone is simple. A lot of players like to pass diagonally through the zone. And with the 1-3-1, you can use the guy up high to cut the ice in half, force a man down the wing, and then they have to make a pass, and then you're in a trap situation. So you're cutting the ice in half, and you're making it so that players have to force their way through your trap, whether it be through really fast skating or with crisp passing. You're basically forcing them to be perfect when you're in a 1-3-1. Reason why I won't do a 1-4 is because it is very easy to get caught on speed plays down the wing in a 1-4 because your wingers are on the boards and they're typically your smaller players. So for me, I use a 2-3 and a 1-3-1. Once again, I would like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video on how to play defense in NHL 23. If you really liked it, like the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Next video that I'll be putting out is what X factors should you be spending your ability points on for Hockey Ultimate Team in NHL 23. Once again, thank you for watching this video, and bye.